Hey there, Capricorn. Welcome to your reading for the week of... No, this is for August 2024, or 2023. I am a mess today, Capricorn, but let's see if we can get this going. You have this Rebel card. It says, limiting beliefs are limiting your abundance. System buster, entrepreneur, or teaching others a better way. You're a trailblazer meant to pave the way for future generations. Damn. You have this strategy card. It says, becoming more strategic to succeed in the long term. Look at your current goals and imagine what obstacles may appear. I like where this is going, for sure. I feel that Capricorns are kind of like rebels. So, I feel a lot of you have some unique ideas about life or about the direction that you're going in. And this is going to lead to a victory right here, Capricorn. So, damn. Like I said, I really like where this is going. I feel like you need to... stop calling attention to your weaknesses. To me, this is a collective energy. There is just a lot of energy that is maybe, I wouldn't say it's like calling out our weaknesses, but, it could be highlighting it or magnifying it, but more in our head, not really actually magnifying our weaknesses, right? But we could imagine that there are certain obstacles. Maybe these obstacles exist, but also, if you pay attention to the obstacle, that's what you're going to get. But it could be more personal. Like it could be an obstacle that has more to do with you. Like you're saying, I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too slow, or I can't learn, or, whatever you're saying to yourself, right? So I feel that we're all going through this right now. And I feel we all need to kind of act as if right here with this chameleon spirit. I love that card. That is like my favorite card in that deck. I feel like that's the only thing you need to do is act as if you're going to be successful. I would definitely be careful of your environment as well, the things that you're surrounding yourself with here, Capricorn, because, I feel if you're surrounding yourself with things that make you feel weak or make you feel stupid or slow or old or whatever, I would remove those things from your environment, whatever it is. It could be something that you eat. It could be a person in your life. It could be something you watch on TV. Anything that makes you feel weak, I would remove it at this time. I feel like strength is going to be very important for you, and, listening to things that strengthen you, listening to things that empower you, all that stuff would be really, really a good idea for you. Again, this is like the only obstacle in your reading, is what I would say. It's actually a really good reading, and there's a lot of good stuff coming up, but I feel like you need to listen to yourself. You have this Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles is your card. You show up twice here as a Queen of Pentacles, and you show up as the Devil. So again, you're showing up in a very strong position here. You can see she's focused on this pentacle. She's not focused on this rabbit right here. The rabbits can represent fertility and abundance, but the rabbit also represents fear and anxiety. But she's focusing on the pentacle, not the fears and anxiety. So I feel for a lot of you. You had this card here, which said something about the future, right? Well, kind of. It says you're a trail. It said you're paving the way for future generations. So it's like the things you're doing right now are going to have a major impact on maybe future generations. So I feel it's time to focus on that. You have the Ace of Swords. I really feel it's time for you to get your crown. You can see that crown at the top of the Ace of Swords there. And, I feel like you have to grab onto that crown by having some sort of victory. It's like... It's kind of weird because it's almost like I feel the universe is dangling this crown in front of you and is saying, hey, there's this thing that you want to do with your life. I feel like a lot of you Capricorns could be feeling, especially as we move throughout the rest of the summer and into the fall, it's almost as if you're feeling more and more driven. I don't know, it could just be more, you're just feeling more motivated to get things done or to accomplish something in your life. It could be anything. It could be cleaning out your shed. I don't care what it is, right? But it's almost like the universe is saying, hey, there's this thing that you want to accomplish, and it's going to lead to a crown, a reward of some sort, or an achievement, and you literally end with the world, which is a major achievement. But, you have to get started is what that's saying. The Ace of Swords, you have to get moving. And I do feel like there are some sacrifices you have to make. I mean, going this way, you have the Devil, which is your card. It's you showing up in a very strong position. But with the Ace of Swords, there's a palm frond right here. And palm fronds in the tarot represent making a sacrifice or needing to make a sacrifice. And so I feel for some of you, there are maybe some habits or some things that you need to cut out so that you can be more successful. With the Five of Pentacles here, you have the Ten of Cups, which is fortune after difficulty. So right here, if you've been going through something difficult, with the Ten of Cups, there could be fortune after difficulty or good things coming in for you after a difficult period of time. It could be love. There is love here, a little bit of love here. So if you want love, I feel it could be a new person, which all of a sudden for the past couple months, you've been getting love readings, which is rare, which is very rare for you, Capricorn. But, again, for those of you that want it, there definitely could be love coming in. But it could also just be improvements after a difficult period of time. You cannot make this up right here. With the Queen of Pentacles, you have the Strength card. I was getting the word strength. I literally said it at the beginning of the reading. It's almost as if you need to become stronger or only do things that lead to strength. I said that at the beginning of the reading. So, there's clearly something here about that. And the Strength card is a daily practice. It's something that you have to do day in, day out, and you have to, keep doing so that you can be successful. So I feel for a lot of you, it's kind of like saying you have to continue to improve, what's going on right here, your mental strength, right? So I would make sure, again, I also had the word environment coming up, which if the Nine of Pentacles shows up, that will blow my mind. That is the card of your environment. But what I would say here is that, I feel like it's like things around you or things that you put into your head or things you watch on TV. Make sure you're watching things that empower you. With the Ace of Swords, you have the King of Wands here. You have the King of Wands twice going this way. This could be a fire sign coming in for you, or it could just be a King of Wands type person. Someone who's bold and assertive. You have here this Page of Cups, so definitely says you could have an admirer, someone who's interested in you. And again, if you want love, I do feel this could be a good love connection. For all of you, though, I would, again, embrace the energy of the King of Wands. He's bold, he's assertive, he goes for what he wants. I always say that he's like the true entrepreneur, but it doesn't have to be business. He really raises things like they are a baby. If he has, it could be his health, right? Whatever it is for you, whatever you're trying to improve. I look at the King of Wands as someone who, again, nurtures things into existence. So it says if you really take care of whatever it is you're trying to improve in your life and really treat it like a baby, like that entrepreneurial energy, even though, yes, I know a baby isn't a business, but bear with me here. It's like if you do that, you will be very successful, but you really have to, take care of the things that you care about, basically, with the King of Wands. Next, in the area of what you need to hear right now, you have this card that says right on time. It says a wish will be granted. There you go. Finalize and tie up loose ends. You have this, in times of need, help will come. You're strong enough to face it all. Yeah, I feel like you've been lonely, or maybe you've been feeling a little bit more lonely. Even if you don't want love, again, it doesn't have to be love. Like I say, it could just be, you could just be feeling like you want to surround yourself with people more, or you could just be feeling a sense of loneliness. And I feel like there's help coming in for you. Definitely could be some sort of wish granted here with that card. It also says wishes, healing miracles, and go deeper. I do. If I were a Capricorn, and I basically am, right? That joke's gonna get old soon. But what I'd say is, I would go deep on something. I would pick something, pick something to be passionate about, something to learn or whatever. Especially if you're worried about the future. I always tell people that I believe people need to kind of have their own little sphere of influence. Like if I didn't have this in my other businesses, and if I were more worried about the future, I would be building some sort of expertise that is more maybe passion-based, or just maybe more things that I'm interested in, right? And I would start developing my own ideas around it. So, that's what I'd be focusing on. I know that's a very general statement, but again, if you could become like an expert on some sort of topic, that will serve you very well in the future. And, even if you have a job, just do it as a hobby. Do it for fun, right? Start a YouTube channel where you talk about worms or whatever you're interested in. I don't care what it is. And share your ideas. But what's more important is, again, we need to touch tips with ideas right now, because it is my belief that what's going to be super important in the future is kind of the connection of two things, is like kind of the intersection of two ideas that are kind of different. So it's like, you're basically, if you can become someone, and I think Capricorn is really good at doing this is why I'm saying this, is if you can curate good ideas, just get a collection of good ideas going. Like, let's say you're into sewing. It's like maybe you curate the best ideas from the sewing world and you put it together in a blog. That could be very valuable to you. So, that's the way I would start thinking. I'm at my whole Chris Reck channel. And again, speaking of which, I'm actually doing this right now. So I have the Chris Reck channel. I have the chrisreck.com, right? And I'm going to be sharing all these ideas just like that on there. And that's where I am going to touch tips, right? So that's all that matters, Capricorn. That's what I'd be doing, because again, it will make you very successful, and it could be about anything. But if you need something to do, that's what I would do, and you could just do it for an hour a day. You'd be amazed how at the end of a year, how much information you will have collected, or how much you will have curated. You have the Queen of Swords, the King of Wands, and the Lovers card. definitely could be love coming in for you for sure. It could be a fire sign or air sign. Could be any sign. You have basically everything here. It doesn't even matter. Now you have Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus, or Leo. Could be another Capricorn. Could be an Aquarius again, Leo again. So there you go. But definitely, I feel there could be a very strong connection coming in for you right here. It's like a dream come true. You have the star here. So if you do want love, again, this looks amazing. If you don't want love, and even if you do, this could just be an amazing opportunity. The Page of Cups has this fish in the cup there. And I always say that fish is something that you want to grab onto. It could just be an opportunity that you need to take advantage of, and I would take advantage of it. You have the King of Wands here. King of Wands is about being bold, being assertive, really going for what you want. So I feel it's time for you to be bold, to be assertive, to go for what you want at this time, to kind of like make something happen and just really charge after something. I feel like you'll be surprised by the results of like what you accomplish. Next, you have the Queen of Swords. I feel like you're very clear about things at this time. You go like this. Queen of Swords to the Devil. The Queen of Swords, she's clear for the first time. She only has clouds halfway up her body. She sees things clearly, and you're going towards the Devil. I feel like you are seeing, again, like I said at the beginning of the reading, this Venus retrograde, there's a certain element of this Venus retrograde that has to do with like toxic energy or toxic things in our life. And again, the beauty of retrogrades is that they can bring clarity into our lives. We can revisit things, just even in our head, just thinking about stuff, and you can see like what is toxic, what isn't good for you, what people, what situations are bad for you. And because you're clear about it, now you can get rid of it. And, that's what you should be doing with this energy. And again, I would, for you, I would think about your environment, like I said at the beginning of the reading. With the Queen of Swords, you have the Four of Pentacles, something you've been holding on to here. I feel some of you could be releasing something that you've been holding on to. Again, if this is a person, I also feel like they're holding on to you, and that's part of the problem. I really feel like you're feeling their energy, honestly. It's like if you're feeling sad, if you're like over it, but you're feeling sad or whatever, I feel like they're holding on to you. So it's like time to do some cord cutting or whatever. With the King of Wands, you have the Seven of Cups. You need to get focused. Seven of Cups, too many ideas. It's like being spoiled for choice, but he just needs to pick one thing and make it happen. The second he does that, that is the second he will be very successful. Just that simple. So pick one thing, make it happen. With the Lovers, you have the Five of Cups. Yeah, I definitely feel that, again, you could be grieving the loss of something that you no longer enjoy. The whole point of the Five of Cups is that the guy is crying over spilt wine, but he doesn't even enjoy the taste of wine any longer. So he's, grieving the loss of something he no longer enjoys. But if he would just turn around, which would be this direction, he would get the star. So it's like there's something waiting for you. It's almost like this reading is saying there's something amazing that's going to blow your mind that's waiting for you, but you have to be grateful for what you have, and you have to let go of whatever this toxic thing is in your life. Again, it could be a person. You could be, grieving the loss of a person, but maybe there's a person who really wants to give to you right here. It could be you're grieving the loss of, not being able to accomplish something, but really if you were to be grateful for everything that you have accomplished so far, you would discover something else that you could accomplish that would actually blow your mind. That would be better. That's like the feeling I get from this reading. Next, you have this card that says, I promise you, it does get better. There you go. You have this card that says you're shedding energies, we talked about this, that no longer match your frequency. You are seeing the energies that no longer match your frequency, plain and simple, with that Queen of Swords to the Devil. It's like you finally see the things that have been keeping you stuck. This is the area of the unexpected, by the way. I don't see anything unexpected here. I would say I label these rows a bit. I don't try to make it fit. If there's nothing, there's nothing. And I feel this is pretty simple. I feel that you are just seeing the things that have kept you stuck. I feel like you are seeing the things that, have kind of gotten in the way. And, that's it. Basically, you have the Devil, the Knight of Swords, and the Page of Cups here. So I feel like you're seeing these toxic things that have been holding you back. And I also feel like you're stepping up into a very kind of high vibration. You're becoming very successful. How interesting is this? Capricorn, the world can also represent Capricorn energy. But you're going from like devil energy to world energy. You're going from feeling stuck and bound to something to being very expansive. You have this sorceress in the middle of the card here, and she can create worlds. So you're going from, really, I feel if you like I said, watch your environment, surround yourself with good things. I feel you are going to become very expansive if you do this, if you kind of surround yourself with more positivity, get rid of the toxic stuff, separate yourself away from something if you need to, if it's a person, all that other good stuff. The second you do this, they're going to try to run back into your life. Again, this Venus retrograde has blown my mind because it, pretty much, I've never had a Venus retrograde like set of readings where almost every single one is like, oh, a person's going to rush in the second you move away. That seems to be the energy of this retrograde. So again, I would be careful. I would focus on new love. I feel like there could be something new coming in for you in the future. I'm not so sure that it's going to come in this month, but it could. And, I always say, like, don't worry about dating during Venus retrograde. The thing about Venus retrograde is that it can bring you the love of your life. So, I always say, don't let astrology control your life. Don't let, tarot control your life. I'm traveling during Mercury retrograde coming up at the end of the month. I'm going to be traveling, right? And I've traveled under so many retrogrades. There's only been one time where I traveled under a retrograde and I had like a billion screw ups, right? And that was exactly 1 year ago, basically. I traveled with my brother. We had all our flights got canceled. We had to like shift around to a bunch of other flights. It was like a freaking disaster. I got COVID when I did that. So again, it's like sometimes if you can really get whacked by Mercury retrograde, right? But again, that's like I travel so many times under retrogrades and nothing happens. So again, knock on wood. But what I would say here is, again, I would be careful of, what I would be careful of is people coming back during this set of retrogrades. With the Devil, you have the Three of Pentacles. What is this? Oh yeah, Three of Pentacles. So teamwork makes the dream work, Capricorn, every single reading. I feel like you are discovering, though, like people you can trust. I feel like you are discovering who you can trust, who you can't trust, all that other good stuff. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Page of Wands here. Yep, it wouldn't surprise me if it was a fire sign or someone who is very fiery coming in for you in love. Again, you have Leo twice. Leo right here. You have the King of Wands twice. So, again, wouldn't surprise me. But, again, it could just be a King of Wands type character. Doesn't matter what gender. With the Page of Cups, you have the Chariot. Definitely a victory coming in for you. I feel like your things are going to move forward very quickly. But as I always say to you, Capricorn, you might think, don't, you need to give yourself credit is what I'm saying. Like, if you become successful very quickly, don't say like, oh, I became successful very quickly. I feel like this is years and years and years of, struggling. So it's like people, sometimes I think people see people as like an overnight success, but they don't see like the 20 years of pain and suffering and all the hard work they had to do. So I feel like the Chariot is saying like, celebrate that. Don't just be like, oh, I became an overnight success or whatever. I don't know. It's popping into my head. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Ant Spirit. It says, time to collaborate. There you go. Three of Pentacles. You have this Chameleon. It says, act as if. We are definitely in a time where if you can act as if you already are something or already can be something, you will be very successful. With this Ant Spirit here, it says time to collaborate. So, again, I feel like for some of you, this time to collaborate card is saying you need to work together with other people. There are people who want to help you or who can help you. And again, when you let other people help you, you're increasing the abundance in the world, which definitely increases the abundance in your world. So that's what I would be doing here. But I feel like also, they're just, the Five of Pentacles says don't try to be everything. It says don't call attention to your weaknesses. So the good news about that is it says focus on your strengths, but you can't be good at everything. So get people who can fill in the gaps, right? You have the World, the Two of Swords, and the Star here. So definitely some accomplishments coming in for you here with the World, and I feel there's a lot of success coming in for you here with the World card. A lot of good stuff. I feel like you're accomplishing a lot with this World. I also feel like you're more yourself. Again, it's weird how I see this. Like, I don't, personally, I don't consider the Devil to necessarily be a bad card. When it shows up as yourself, I don't think it's a bad card. I think it's a good card for you in particular. But it's almost like this is better. So, there you go. You have the Two of Swords here, moving on to calmer shores. Definitely a lot of improvements coming in for you. Again, this is the good stuff, so it's going to be good no matter what. I feel like you're moving on to something. I always say that she needs to get to this new island behind her, because where she is sitting is where she has always been. But it's almost like, in the good stuff, you are going over here. You're going to this new island where there could be something new. You have the Star. Definitely, I'm just getting wish fulfillment here, or, some sort of accomplishment coming in for you. Let's see what we get. Sorry, I'm using this deck, this mini clarifying deck, and it's like the size of a postage stamp. It's like impossible to shuffle. But with the World, you have the Six of Swords. So definitely moving on to calmer shores. Major improvements coming in for you. With the Two of Swords, you have the Page of Pentacles. You have almost every single page here. And so definitely could be an admirer coming in for you. You could have multiple admirers as well. Multiple people who are really interested in you is what I would say. I would focus on evidence. I say it to every single sign because I think it's the only thing anyone needs to pay attention to in love is you put something in, what do they return? If they match your energy, that is the person you pick, plain and simple. If they don't match your energy, you get rid of them, plain and simple. So we're looking at matching energies here. You even have that card that says match your frequency, right? With the star card, you have the Nine of Wands here, Nine of Swords. So I feel like you're ending a negative cycle because, again, it is coming up in the good stuff. So you could be ending a negative cycle that you have been going through or a challenging cycle that you have been going through as well. We're going to pull 5 main themes here and see what is going on for you. There you go. You have the shield card. It says you must defend yourself. I wouldn't defend yourself at this time. Here's the thing. We had Mars retrograde this year. I always tell people if you try to defend yourself from something during Mars retrograde, you just look guilty, plain and simple, right? So I think the best thing to do is, don't let someone cross your boundaries or whatever, put up boundaries. But if someone's attacking you or whatever, just let them attack you. Let them go off and ignore it. The more you do that, the better, right? So again, that's what I would do here. And again, I know that we're well past the Mars retrograde, but I don't know. I always feel weird about Mars retrograde and defending yourself because you always lose. You have with this older woman card, it says dealings with relationships with an older woman. And then you have this February card. So some of you could be dealing with a Pisces. For some of you, I'm getting this could be a parent that you're dealing with. I'm not getting like good or bad vibes. I'm just getting that maybe it could be the person that wants to help you. You have this hammock card that says taking a vacation physically or mentally. It came out with this peacock card that says beware of great pride. So I would be careful. I would definitely be careful of prideful people or fake people at this time, especially in love. Like there could be people who kind of present themselves one way, but they're actually fake. And again, it does seem like you could be dealing with a couple of people or a few people in love or you're dating or whatever. And I feel it's saying just trust that. You have this cane that says pay attention to your health. Every single person has had this. We have these Mercury retrograde, at the end of the month. We have Venus retrograde right now. Retrogrades are a great time to rest, relax, recover, heal. So, I would do all those things. You have this angel card. It says spiritual guidance, protection from harm. So you are protected at this time. This is why you don't need to defend yourself. And you have this love card. So there's clearly love coming in for you. This looks amazing. Capricorn, I love where this is going. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your month.